This airplane that's landing here is Oscar Foxtrot Delta. It's our retractable gear 172. It's pretty cool.
Didn't float too much.
No, that plane's, it drops like a rock. Pretty heavy.
Not very typical for a 172.
No.
Those things,
usually they float forever. No,
they're basically boats.
Yeah, you actually have to land with power on, in that one. It's just, for whatever reason, you gotta land it fast and power in. 75 knots on the approach.
Center traffic, India Lima November is lining up on 05.
I think they're going short field.
Hard to tell.
Full power confirmed. There you go.
Alrighty, soft field takeoff. Let's see it.
Didn't even have my flaps set. Flaps come down, right?
Flaps down, good. Put that nose a little bit higher. Get that nose, there you go, right there. Crosswind there, eh? And we'll gently pitch that nose down to stay in ground effect. We'll keep it here until our best rate of climb speed. And we're off. Nicely done. Once you get a little more comfortable with them, I'd suggest probably keeping it a little closer to the ground, but it's always rather intimidating flying very quickly, very close to the ground.
Yeah, it was kind of confusing with the short field for a second.
Yep. A lot of people do. Just try and like really keep them separate in your brain. The soft field, you lift off the ground at the lowest airspeed, you pitch it down, stay in ground effect, and then you're off. Whereas the short field over an obstacle, you're pitching it way up and climbing at your VX. Alrighty, so even without the hood on here, just kind of start transferring what you would see visually to what you're seeing on the attitude indicator now.
Go Quebec Foxtrot Whiskey.
So we're looking at the attitude indicator. We want to keep this guy pretty well right on the horizon to maintain straight and level flight. And this right up there should be pretty well close to the top index, that solid white one. That'll keep our wings level. We're also just kind of bouncing back and forth with this and with here to maintain straight and level flight. Alrighty, I'll take control. You can throw this on. Thanks, control. We'll see if the GoPro works.
Didn't know where my thing was for a second, my headset.
Alright. You have control.
My controls.
So you're just looking at the attitude indicator. You're bouncing it off the attitude, or the altitude and the heading indicator as well. The big thing about instrument flying is to try and keep the airplane very stable. Make very small changes with the controls, and just wait for the airplane to respond.
How close do I have to maintain this heading?
Within plus or minus 10 degrees on the flight test.
Okay.
We'll stay on the heading of south, but we'll start a climb now. What we'll do for a climb is we'll first of all pitch the nose up to the 10-degree mark. At full power, you got it. And then whatever, normal control forces we might need, maybe right rudder in the climb, that sort of a thing. And we're watching this, and now we're watching our airspeed indicator too. If we're only climbing at 80 knots, we might need to bring that pitch up indication up a little bit more. And we'll trim the airplane out as well to maintain that.
What are we climbing to?
We'll go up to about 4,000. Once we get up to 4,000 feet, what we're going to want to do is pitch the nose down to our horizon there, using our attitude indicator. Then we're going to watch our airspeed. As the airspeed indicator comes up, we'll set our cruise power, and we're just kind of bouncing back and forth with these guys to maintain straight and level flight, making sure that we don't descend or anything in the transition from climb to straight and level. Very good. We're pitching with that attitude indicator, then we're watching our attitude and our altimeter. Airspeed's coming up, so we can bring some power back.
Rapid traffic, check box whiskey. Clear all runways.
Alright, the next thing that we're going to do is some turns. Again, for the turns, we don't want to bank the airplane any more than the rate 1 or standard rate indication there on the turn coordinator, which is going to work out at this speed about 12 degrees on our attitude indicator there. So you can kind of imagine 10 to 15 degree angle of bank. That'll keep us around the standard rate indication. The standard rate is really just it's kind of a number based on our speed. So the faster we go, make sure I got this right, the faster we go, the less angle of bank we'll need, I think is how that works out. I'd have to double check my math. Basically in this airplane, and pretty much any airplane you're going to fly for the next 2 or 3 years, about 10 to 15 degrees will be your standard rate turn. It's only in the faster airplanes that that'll change. So whenever we're making turns under the hood, I'm your eyes outside, so if you need to make a turn, just the phraseology for that is clear left or clear right, asked as a question, and I'll confirm it by saying clear left or clear right. So we'll plan on a turn to the right. I'm taking a look out to the right for us. We are cleared to the right. So whenever you're ready, you can use coordinated use of aileron and rudder to roll into a standard rate turn to the right. And we're just going to go around no particular heading. Very good. So we're maintaining a rate 1 turn exactly. We're keeping our altitude there, and we're just kind of bouncing back and forth between here and here, here and there. We'll go around to a heading of north, and then we'll roll the wings level. I noticed you led that turn by just a little bit, eh?
Yeah.
A rule of thumb for that is you lead the turn by half the angle of bank. So if we're in a 10 degree angle of bank turn, 5 degrees ahead. Yep. Let's start another climb now. We'll climb at a normal climb of 70 knots.
To what altitude?
I'm not sure yet. So power or attitude, then we got the power, and then we'll get the trim in there. Alright, so now we're in a level climb, or a straight climb, I mean. 70 knots, this is looking really good. Let's start a climbing right turn now. We are clear to the right, we'll turn over to a heading of north. 70 knots in the climb. Nicely done. Now we'll turn back over to a heading of west. Heading of west, you got it. We'll keep this climb going up to about 5,500. Chilly up here.
Sorry?
It's chilly up here. It's refreshing.
Yeah, when it's always been hot for the last few weeks.
Yeah, exactly. Have a look outside for a sec.
All above the clouds. Wow.
Pretty nice looking, eh? You remember learning about lenticular clouds in ground school? Those mountain waves ones that kind of, they go over the mountain and they look like a contact lens?
Yeah.
Some of those are actually forming over top of the cumulus clouds out here.
Oh wow.
It's really weird looking. Alright, let's do another turn. We're going to do a little bit steeper of a turn than a right one. We're going to do a 30-degree angle of bank turn. We're going to go 180 degrees around to east. Left or right of your choice, just let me know which direction you're going so that I can do a lookout for you.
Let's do the right.
Alright. Are cleared to the right. We'll maintain 6,000 feet throughout the turn. Notice how it's much easier to lose control at greater angles of bank. Just a lot more stuff to think about is all. Very good. So now we'll maintain 6,000 feet on it heading of east. Really all that the flight test is going to ask of you for instrument flying on the partial, or correction, on the full panel side of things, is that you can fly straight and level on a constant heading, constant altitude for 2 minutes. And that you can make a 180-degree turn and then fly straight and level for 2 minutes again. That's simulating an inadvertent entry into clouds or instrument meteorological conditions, at which point we need to make a 180-degree turn to get back out of them. So if you take a look outside here, even at like a few to scattered layer like this would be considered, it's pretty hard to navigate using like ground references.
Yeah.
Based, you know, with the haze and the clouds together. So if you're ever on your cross country, I suggest not climbing over a scattered layer, even though you're legally allowed to. It could close in at any point.
Right.
We've got clear skies behind us, which is the only reason I'm above this layer. Very good. Are you liking the instrument flying so far?
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's pretty enjoyable in my opinion.
Don't like not being able to see, but you know.
Alright, so you've probably heard the phrase, trust your instruments, right?
Absolutely.
Good. What I want you to do right now, we're flying straight level.
Turning left base.
I want you to...
I won't be holding you up.
I want you to maintain straight level flight, but close your eyes.
Oh, that's impossible.
We check marks, thanks.
I know what you're trying to do.
I know what alright. So, close your eyes.
If they're closed.
Good, and keep them closed. We're going to fly like this for a couple minutes. And just based on your senses, you know, the fluids in your ear, the way you can feel that you're sitting down right now, we're going to fly straight and level for a little while.
I am probably already not flying level, am I?
Oh, you're doing fine.
Oscar Delta, Quebec, turning final, 17 to hold short of 23.
Doing exactly what I'm not supposed to do.
What are you doing?
Trusting my senses.
Exactly. So we'll see how reliable your senses are. We're straight and level, right?
No.
No. How do you know that we're not straight and level?
I can hear it accelerating.
Good. Open your eyes. It's been a minute and 30
Oh
seconds.
my god! Jesus! What angle of bank was that?
Oh, we were just over 30. You can get into a spiral pretty quick, eh?
Yeah, holy.
So that's a good lesson on trusting your instruments. You really want to, disregard what your bodily senses are telling you. Your instruments 90% of the time are correct.
Rolling runway 23, thanks.
With the exception of maybe a blocked pitot tube or, static pore, that kind of thing. Alrighty, the next thing that we'll do is a descent. The easiest way, in my opinion, to descend, be it a power on descent, is just to reduce the power. If we're straight and level right now and trimmed out, if you just let go of the yoke and just reduce the power to about 2100 RPM, you'll notice the nose gently falls, and we start a descent. There we go, we're in a descent. That's all I do for the descending. If we need to descend more, we bring the power back more. And if we want to descend less, we just add a little bit more power. Alright, if we want to level off, like, you know, maybe we'll level off here at 55, all we have to do is add the power back. We haven't changed the trim of the aircraft. So, from an aerodynamic perspective, the airplane should just level itself off and go back to its cruising speed. Let's start a descent down to about 2,300 feet initially, just on heading us south for now. What I'm going to do is give you headings and altitudes to fly, and I'm going to get you set up into the circuit for Brantford.
Sorry, could you repeat the altitude though?
2,300.
23, okay.
23, yep. 500 feet per minute, like you've got in these descents, is a very comfortable descent rate. Any less than that is just kind of time consuming. Any more than that, it makes your ears pop. So 500 feet's just great.
Bumpier it is, the harder it is to keep wings level.
Exactly, it is. Let's start a turn now for a heading of about 330. We're clear to the right. Doing very, very well with these instruments. Do you think your simulator flying has contributed to that, perhaps?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely almost exclusively fly IFR when I'm doing a simulator, so...
Yep. Well, hey, now you can use your scan to keep the airplane in control. Monitor that autopilot.
Who needs autopilot?
What kind of airplanes do you fly?
Mostly just 737-800.
Okay.
Or 738 as the cool kids call it.
738, nice. Alright, you can go left heading 340, and we'll keep the descent going into 1800. We're clear to the left. Feet. You can keep this heading for now. Alright, let's turn left heading 320 degrees. Clear left. Red traffic getting Chile is overhead the field 1,800 feet to join the mid-left downwind runway 05 full stop. Alright, next up is going to be a left turn heading 230 degrees, clear left. Alright, wings level at 230 degrees there, and I'll take control and you can get your head off. It's about your 8 o'clock over there. You have control. I can take the hood.
Okay.
Alrighty. Visual landing from here. You can plan to do a soft field landing for me, please. Again, that's 20 degrees of flaps. Touching down with a little bit of power, usually 12, 13, 1400 RPM. Holding that nose wheel off as long as possible.
Yankee Juliet Lima is turning left base runway 05 full stop.
A little bit weird switching back to the visual stuff.
Alright. Yankee Juliet Lima is turning final runway 05 full stop.
Now what we're going to want to do as we transition to the flare is land with about that much power. Yep. Hold it off as long as we possibly can. Holding it off. Yep. There you go, we're still flying. Keep that nose wheel off the ground now. Nose wheel off, nose wheel off. Good. Keep holding that nose wheel off. Right back. Like that. And use a little bit of power too if you need to. If it wants to fall, just keep that power on. Good. Now as you slow down, we'll get off the runway. We'll keep that full back pressure in until we're clear of the hold short line.
Maybe you didn't flare enough initially.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. We could have flared a little bit more there. Definitely held it off a lot longer. I saw you noticing it though. You're like, nope. Good, and past this hold short line, we'll get our radio call and our post-landing checklist, and miraculously our grass surfaces turn to ash. Oh, perfect.
Over the edge.
There we go.
Let's record and install everything. Okay.
Yeah, great flying.
Thank you.
Great flying. You'll have no problem with that instrument stuff.